Welcome everyone to this edition of Dairy Dialogue, Milk, the Real Deal. Today we will be looking at how milk compares to the alternative beverages on the market today so you can empower your clients to make an informed decision. Today's conversation will include learning about the true definition of milk. We will then learn about nutritional differences between milk and the alternative beverages out there, as well as the role that nutrition labels play when selecting your milk. And finally, we will go through a few key considerations when selecting your drink. Before we begin, I want to go over one definition. There are many drinks out there that call themselves milk, and this makes it very confusing when you go to the grocery store. But the FDA does have a definition of what is milk with their standards of identity. Standards of identity is an important tool for defining what different foods are, the quality of foods, and what ingredients may or must be used or not used as an ingredient. The standards of identity for milk states that milk is obtained by the complete milking of one or more healthy cows. And the only additional ingredients that can be added to cow's milk is vitamin A, and vitamin D, but only in specified amounts, and certain flavorings to make flavored milk. So what does this mean to us? It means that no matter what type of milk you have, lactose-free, whole milk, skim milk, or reduced fat milk, all milk comes from a cow and has the same three ingredients: milk, vitamin A, and vitamin D. And these three ingredients pack a powerful nutritional punch. This is great news because you know that no matter what type of milk you drink or use in recipes, you will know that it is naturally nutrient rich by providing a package of 13 essential nutrients with every serving. As we move forward, we are going to be comparing a serving of milk with a serving of an alternative beverage. But before we can compare milk to alternative beverages, we need to go through a few more definitions. First, what is an essential nutrient? An essential nutrient is a nutrient that your body cannot make on its own or cannot make in adequate amounts and must be provided by the foods from your diet. Your body needs these essential nutrients to function properly. Second, a serving size. That is a standard amount of food or drink, and this is different than a portion size, which is the amount you choose to eat. A serving size of milk is considered 8 ounces or 1 cup. We will use this measurement when we refer to servings as we go forward in this presentation. Now that we have a few terms defined, let's use the St. Louis District Dairy Council's Milk, the Real Deal brochure to look at what is in the other types of alternative beverages out there. All of the information that we will be looking at is found on the nutrition facts label of each product. First, let's look at calories. Calories are a measure of energy provided by certain nutrients in our diet, primarily carbohydrates, protein, and fat. You can change the number of calories by changing the amount of fat, protein, or carbohydrates in your beverage. For example, switching from 2% to fat-free milk will lower calories while keeping protein, calcium, and other nutrients the same. Looking at the low-fat milk here, you can see that it does not have the most calories per serving, but it doesn't have the least either. And while calories count in making choices of what to eat and drink, it's not the only thing to consider. You need to look at your total fat. The type and amount of fat you consume is also important to overall health. Everyone needs some fat in their diet because it supports a number of your body's functions. Some vitamins, for instance, must have fat to dissolve and nourish your body. But also keep in mind that fat provides 9 calories per gram, so a little goes a long way. Make sure that you just don't look at fat in a drink, but you also look at the information provided on the nutrition facts label. For example, Although the coconut beverage has only 70 calories, it has 4.5 grams of fat. This means that over half the calories in this drink comes from fat. Fat does add flavor and thickness to beverages, so fat-free options may seem more watery and less flavorful. When it comes to alternative beverages, some brands will add thickeners and flavorings to their fat-free products, which could change the amount of nutrients provided by the beverage. And while the alternative beverage may have a fat-free option, it might be difficult to find. Remember that while milk can be bought fat-free, it will still contain the same amount of nutrients as a higher fat version and is readily available in stores. Carbohydrates are another thing to consider, and they are the main energy source for our body. Total carbohydrates on food labels includes carbohydrates that are naturally occurring in foods, as well as added sugars. For example, lactose is a carbohydrate found in milk that is naturally occurring. Soybeans used in soy beverages also contain several naturally occurring sugars like sucrose. And sugars increase calorie content of beverages, but they are used to make drinks taste good. Protein is an essential nutrient needed to build and maintain muscle, keep blood healthy, and your body structures strong. A complete protein is made up of 20 amino acids. Only some foods provide complete proteins, like milk and other dairy foods, meat, poultry, fish, and eggs. Plant-based foods and drinks are considered incomplete proteins because they don't have all of the amino acids. Many of the substitute beverages provide only a few grams of protein. And while soy and pea beverage provide the same amount of proteins per serving of milk, keep in mind that these are incomplete proteins. Calcium is an essential nutrient found naturally in milk and dairy products. It helps build and maintain bone mass and strength and helps with blood clotting. Calcium is needed throughout our life to build and maintain bone mass and prevent osteoporosis, the bone thinning disease. Calcium also lowers your risk of high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and some cancers. The natural calcium found in milk provides a highly absorbable form of calcium. Food is always the best way to get the nutrients you need. The naturally occurring calcium found in milk is readily absorbed due to the presence of other nutrients such as vitamin D and lactose, which enhance calcium absorption. Other alternative beverages use different forms of calcium to bring their calcium levels close to milk. One important thing to note is that the rate of calcium absorption from these drinks will vary depending on the type of calcium supplements used. And if you do go with a milk substitute, be sure to shake the drink container first before you drink it, since some calcium supplements settle to the bottom of the container. This doesn't happen with milk, by the way. But one of the most useful parts of the nutrition facts label is the ingredients list. Manufacturers must list everything put into the product and list them in predominance by weight. Added ingredients will include stabilizers to add structure and shelf life to products, sugars and sugar substitutes that add sweetness, flavorings and nutrients such as vitamins and minerals, and keep in mind, some added ingredients can also add calories. People often think of plant-based drinks as being natural and nutritionally superior to milk. But as we look at the ingredients listed here, some of these alternative beverages have 10 or more ingredients, including salt, sugar, stabilizers, food additives, thickening agents, natural flavors and emulsifiers, and are fortified with vitamins and minerals to help them compare to cow's milk. Compare that with cow's milk, which only has 3 ingredients, and you will find a naturally wholesome drink without added sugars, stabilizers, or flavorings. But when comparing beverages in the dairy case, it's no wonder that more than half of Americans get confused. That's why it's so important to look at your food labels to get the facts. To make the best choice for you, remember to compare the percent daily value of protein, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, and minerals. Every glass of real milk gives you high-quality, complete proteins, and no matter what brand or type of milk, the nutrients in each glass stay the same every time. Every single serving of milk, whether it's skim, 1%, or whole milk, organic milk or non-organic milk, classic white milk, chocolate milk, or another flavor of milk, it will all have the same amount of these ingredients. It has calcium and vitamin D and phosphorus to help build and maintain strong bones and teeth. Vitamins A and D and zinc are there to build and maintain healthy immune systems. The B vitamins and selenium are in there to keep our blood functioning normally, help us burn energy, and keep our nervous system healthy. We'll find potassium to help our body regulate fluid balance and normal muscle function. Iodine is found in milk, which is necessary to have proper brain development of a baby during pregnancy, infancy, and childhood. And of course, there's protein to help us build and repair our muscles and other tissues in our body. But let's compare real milk to the alternatives in a different way, with a list. You can see that milk provides so many more nutrients per glass. You may find that you have to eat or drink more of an alternative plant-based food or drink to get the same nutrition in real milk. And remember that fortified nutrients can settle to the bottom of the container, making the actual nutrient content in that drink much less. But milk is consistent every time. The new dietary guidelines continue to recommend low-fat and fat-free dairy as an important part of the ideal healthy dietary pattern, along with whole grains, legumes, fruits, and vegetables. It is recommended that most Americans get 3 servings of dairy daily as milk, yogurt, or cheese. It is important to note that the only alternative to real dairy and milk is soy beverages and fortified soy products. And while nutrients and recommended servings do play a role in our food and drink choices, there are other key considerations that we need to think about when it comes to our food. First to consider is cost. On average, a half gallon of milk will cost less than a half gallon of a milk substitute. This makes milk the best bang for your buck, meaning you will get so many nutrients for a low price per serving. But cost isn't the only driving factor when it comes to selecting your drink. Taste plays a big role in what we like. The taste and texture between milk and alternative beverages will vary greatly. Some of the alternative drinks will taste sweeter because of added sugar and flavorings, but taste is a personal preference. And a final consideration is, can you find your favorite beverage at the grocery store? Or do you have to go to multiple stores to find the drink that you want? Thank you for attending this edition of Dairy Dialogue. I hope you now understand a little more about why dollar for dollar, cost per cup, no other beverage comes close to offering the same nutrients as real milk. Every glass of milk gives you high-quality protein with 13 essential nutrients, no matter what brand or type of real milk. This makes milk consistent every time. For more information on milk and how it compares to the alternative beverages, or to download our Milk the Real Deal brochure, visit our website at www.stldairycouncil.org. You can always email us with any additional questions at info@stldairycouncil.org. And find us and follow us on social media. Thanks again for attending Dairy Dialogue.